Welcome to our video on retirement planning. I'm very excited to share my top 7 tips with you drawn from my 12-year experience as a financial planner. Whether you are just starting to think about retirement or are already well on your way, these tips will help you to make smart and informed decisions which will ensure a comfortable and secure future for you. So let's dive in and explore how you can build a retirement plan which truly works for you. So let's start with tip number 1. Start early. When you are young and just starting to earn, you should focus on two things: where you can travel and where you can invest. Material things like car, bike, and home can wait. Traveling will broaden your horizons, and investing will make possibilities into reality. Unfortunately, society gives wrong advice to youth, leading them to buy flat on loan as soon as they start to earn. Starting your financial journey with home loan can make you comfortable with debt, leading you to think everything is just a loan away. It's a mental trap which prevents you from realizing you're spending more than you earn, aided by easy loans and credit card. Youth should focus on keeping their net worth positive, especially when they start earning. This will build solid foundation for future growth. When it comes to retirement planning, the earlier you start, the better. As a young individual with fewer financial responsibilities, you can invest significant portion of your income, benefiting from the power of compounding over time. Let's look at few scenarios here. So I'll be presenting you 3 scenarios with different age brackets. It will help you to understand why it is important to start early. So let's talk about the scenario 1. We are talking about a 23-year-old guy who's earning 1 lakh rupees per month. His expenses are 40,000 rupees per month. So his savings will be 60,000 rupees. He wished to retire at 50 years old and he expects a pension of 1 lakh rupees per month in present value. So let's see how he will manage this retirement goal. So with 2% real rate of return assumption, he need a corpus of approximately 19 CR. If he can invest 60,000 per month and increase this by 9% in a step-up manner every year, he will achieve a corpus of more than 20 crore, which is more than sufficient to meet his retirement goal. Now let's assume this 23-year-old guy didn't start saving early and he went on to his normal life with bike loan, car loan and home loan, and he is starting now at 33-year-old with also a child in picture. Let's look at this scenario, how he will do when it comes to his retirement goal. So his age is 33 now, he's earning 2 lakh rupees per month now and his expenses are 1.5 lakh rupees per month because he has a home loan running. So ultimately his savings will be 50,000 rupees. Same, he would like to retire at 50 and life expectancy will be 90-year-old. So at 2% real rate of return, he will require approximately 15.5 crore corpus to manage his retirement. But unfortunately, he can only save 50,000 rupees per month. Even if we increase this by 9% in a step-up manner every year, he can only achieve approximately somewhere near 5 crore, leading well short to his retirement goal. Now let's look at the third scenario. So this guy, 23-year-old, he started saving on his own. He bought a couple of houses. He upgraded the past house to a better one. And now he has some savings and he also has home loan running. But he's 43-year-old and he still expects to retire at 50. So let's look at the scenario 3. Age 43, he is earning 4 lakh rupees per month. His expenses are 2.5 lakh rupees per month, which include the home loan EMI. And again, he wanted to retire at 50 with a life expectancy of 90 years. Now he expects a pension of 2 lakh rupees per month. His current savings are 1 crore. So corpus required at 2% real rate of return will be approximately 11 crore. Unfortunately, even with 1.5 lakh rupees monthly saving, with a 9% step up every year, he will be able to achieve only 4.1 CR, again, which is well short of the retirement corpus which he is aiming for. So, as you have seen from all the three scenarios, it's very important to start early, and you can see the later you start, the harder it will become for you to achieve your retirement goal. So now let's move on to the tip number 2. So let's start with the tip number 2. Save at least 40% of your income. The key to financial success is income minus investment is equal to expenses. Prioritize your investment over expenses. Mostly people do the opposite, calculating their expenses first and investing whatever is left. This will lead to overspending and inadequate savings. So let's talk about the tip number 2. Save at least 40% of your income. As soon as you start earning, make a habit to set aside a portion of your income for investment. The higher the portion, the better. Adjust your lifestyle to fit the remaining income. A good benchmark is to save at least 40% of your income. Those with fewer financial responsibilities and higher disposable income should aim to save even more, ideally in the 60 to 70% range. Now let's move on to the tip number 3. I have made a whole video about this. Watch it here. Many people are lured into buying flat early in their career by taking huge home loans. As mentioned in the first step, this negative start will keep you in debt for a very long time, causing you to miss out on the precious compounding period. Being under debt is like being under the influence of a drug. While you may know it's bad, the easy availability and instant gratification can overshadow the negative aspects. You may start with small 2 BHK, then upgrade to a larger 3 BHK. Then maybe you want to shift closer to your children's school. Before you know it, you are caught in a multiple home loan cycle, leading to huge negative net worth. This can anchor you to a job you are not passionate about, pushing your retirement goals further away. Avoid this trap. So let's talk about the step number 4. Increase your investment before your lifestyle. As your income increases, it's normal to want to upgrade your lifestyle. Buying a better phone, car, or a house, or take more vacations. There is nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of your labor, but don't lose sight of your investments. As your income increases, first increase your investment, then upgrade your lifestyle. For example, if your income increases from 1 lakh to 2 lakh, before you were saving 50,000. Now you might want to upgrade your house or buy a car. However, this will set you back several years in your retirement planning. Instead, if you increase your expenses from 50,000 to 70,000 and invest remaining 1.3 lakh rupees, your investment grows by 260% while your expenses only grow by 40%. This habit will make sure that you are well on track to achieve your goals early. Tip number 5. Start with a concentrated portfolio and diversify as it grows. Many new investors starts by accumulating bunch of mutual fund and stocks, investing small amounts in many different assets. This over diversification can dilute your returns, often resulting in performance which is closer to or less than the index. When your corpus is small, focus on building a strong concentrated portfolio with 2 to 3 mutual funds and 5 to 6 stocks. Higher returns generally comes from a focused and niche portfolio. Young investors typically have a higher risk appetite due to fewer financial responsibilities. Take advantage of this early period to build a very strong concentrated portfolio. As it grows, you can gradually diversify to reduce the risk. Let's move now to the point number 6. Seek professional help to save yourself some headache. Planning for retirement and turning that plan into action can be tedious and overwhelming. Many people start with good intentions but lose interest or become disorganized midway. If you can do it by yourself, that's great. However, if you find yourself hesitant to start or struggling to keep motivated, consider seeking professional help. There is a tendency to avoid paid advice, especially in India. Many people don't hesitate to spend on unnecessary things, but think twice before paying for financial advice. However, a good financial planner can help you to avoid costly mistakes and keep you on track. They can handle the planning and implementation, allowing you to focus on your career. This will not only just help you to save the headache, but will make sure that your finances are being managed by a professional. Let's move to the final tip, tip number 7. Use the bucket strategy to manage your corpus. This tip is for those people who have already achieved their retirement corpus or close to doing so. Have you ever thought how you will use the retirement corpus you have built, where it will be invested, and how you will withdraw from it to use it for the living expenses? So let's understand this by an example. Let's go back to our dear old 23-year-old boy who was planning to retire by 50, and he were close to achieve 20 crore by his retirement, and that would have lasted him 90 years. But what if I told you he could have lasted that corpus another 10 years till he's 100 with 2 crore less, around 18 crore? How you'll react to it? So that's what you can do with the bucket strategy. Let's see this with an example. So here you can see I built a model for the retirement corpus managed via the bucket strategy. Here the guy is going to retire at around 50 years old. He wanted a pension of 1 lakh rupees, but the future value of that pension will be approximately 5.8 lakh rupees. And that also will grow by 6.75%, which is the inflation we are taking throughout the tenure. So here you can see we have taken 6 different buckets. So buckets will be divided depending on the time horizon and the purpose. The first 5 buckets are basically same intervals, 5 years each. And the last bucket, bucket 6, is a larger bucket which is 25 years. So the whole idea of bucket strategy is to assign buckets depending on the risk and time horizon. As you can see, the first bucket is very safe. We are just taking 6% rate of return, which is very close to the FD or liquid fund rate, and that's how this bucket will be utilized to fund the day-to-day expenses for the first 5 years. For the next bucket, which is from 6th year to 10th year, we are going to take a little bit risk, maybe like 10% in equity and 90% in debt with 7% return, and again this will be utilized for his day-to-day expenses. So you can see the whole idea here is to be little safer on the earlier buckets, and as the time is growing, we are going deeper into the retirement horizon, the more equity will jump into the portfolio. So bucket 3, we are assuming 8% return, maybe 20 to 30% in the equity. Bucket 4 will be 9% return, maybe 40% in the equity. Bucket 5 will be maybe 60% in the equity or 70% in the equity. And the last bucket, which is 25 years of retirement and 25 years away, we are going to take at least 80 to 90% in the equity, which will generate us maybe 12% return. So as you can see, we have managed to stretch his corpus with a lesser amount for another 10 years. With 2 crore extra in his retirement corpus, which is still undesignated, he can achieve a handsome portfolio to pass over to his heirs. So these were the 7 tips which I've shared with you from my 12 years of experience. For more amazing information, like, share, and subscribe. Pranam.